I'm live. It is the 31st of December 2025 and I'm reading Travels with My Aunt. It's a novel by Greene, published 1969. It's about his Aunt Augusta. He hadn't seen her for 50 years and he met her again at his mother's funeral, and she is a traveller and they're travelling to Istanbul. And I was here in chapter 13 and I interrupted halfway through. She's having a conversation with Henry Pulling, who is the retired bank manager, who is the main character. Everybody enjoyed these parties, but only the Arabs could really afford their fun, as it turned out. Was Mr. Visconti ruined? He pulled out in time with what was left of my money and what was left of his wife's, and to him justice he had settled some of mine on Mario. Of course he disappeared for a while, but he came back after things had quietened down. The Vatican made a very comfortable deal. You remember, with Mussolini. So that was what they lost to Mr. Visconti. So that what they lost to Mr. Visconti seemed very small. Dear indeed. He had left me enough to live on in a modest way, but I had never been very keen on modesty. Life was very monotonous after Mr. Visconti disappeared. I even visited Havana, as I told you, and afterwards I went back to Paris for a while. Mario was with the Jesuits in Milan. That was when I met Monsieur d'Ambreuse. But when the affair was over, I came back to Rome. I always hoped that one day Mr. Visconti would turn up again. I had a 2-roomed apartment, and I did a little part-time work in an establishment behind the Messaggero. Life was very middle class after all the Arabs and the cardinals. I had been spoiled by Quran and Mr. Visconti. No men have ever given me more amusement than those two did. Poor Wordsworth, my aunt added. He was not in the same league. She gave a very young laugh and laid her hand back on my knees. And then, oh, praise to the holiest and the high, as Wordsworth is fond of saying, I was putting in a little part-time behind the Messaggero, when who should walk into the reception room but Mr. Visconti? A pure coincidence. He wasn't looking for me, but how happy we were. How happy, just to see each other again. The girls didn't understand when we joined hands then and there and danced between the sofas. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't go upstairs. We went straight out into the lane outside. There was a drinking fountain, shaped like an animal had, and he splashed my face with water before he kissed me. What was that half-time employment? I asked. I suddenly broke out. Who were the girls? What were the sofas there for? What does it matter now? My aunt said. What did any of it matter? We were together again, and he splashed me, and he kissed me and kissed me. But surely you must have despised the man after all he had done to you. We were crossing the long aqueduct through the lagoons which led to Venice Mestre, but there were no signs of the beautiful city, only tall chimneys with pale gas flames, barely visible in the late afternoon sunlight. I was not expecting my aunt's outburst. She turned on me with real fury, as though I were a child who had carelessly broken some vase she had cherished over the years for its beauty and the memories it contained. I despise no one, she said. No one. Regret your own actions if you like, that kind of wallowing in self-pity, but never despise. Never presume yours is a better morality. What do you suppose I was doing in the house behind the Messaggero? I was cheating, wasn't I? So why shouldn't Mr. Visconti cheat me? But you, I suppose, never cheated in all your little provincial banker's life, because there's not anything you wanted enough, not even money. not even a woman. You looked after people's money like a nanny who looks after other people's children. Can't I see you in your cage, stacking up the little fivers endlessly before your hand them over to their proper owner? Angelica certainly brought you up as she wanted you. Your poor father didn't have a chance. He was a cheat too, and I only wish you were. Then perhaps we'd have something in common. I was astounded. I could find nothing to say in reply. I thought of leaving the train at Venice, but then there was Thule, and I felt responsible for Thule. The squalid station wrapped us round with its dirt and its noise. I said, I think I'd better find Thule, and I went away, leaving the old lady glaring on her couchette. Only as I closed the door of the compartment I thought I heard her laugh. So that was the end of chapter 13. I'm reading chapter 14 in the new year of 2026. Have a happy